Let's talk about how you can learn what you need to know for your business faster. You see, typically when we start trying to figure out what we need to know for our business, it is a very random and it is very widespread. So we start learning a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And it's very easy to get sidetracked because we have constant information coming into us and we always feel like we gotta know one more thing. And a lot of times this turns into us like, let me just buckle down and I'll just learn. And then I'll be done, I'll know it, and then I can start serving clients. But here's the kind of awful thing about that. You're never going to stop learning. There is always going to be something new. So we want to kind of get away from that traditional way of learning, which typically looks like signing up for a whole bunch of different email lists. So we receive a lot of different random emails with random information. We start taking some random courses, reading different articles, consuming different videos, and then we spend all this time trying to piece all of this information together in a way that could possibly make sense for us, let alone how would we apply all of this to a client who comes to us, and maybe they'll need those skills and maybe they won't. So we learn even more. We sit on it a bit, process it, think about it some more, and maybe we start something where we can start applying our skills, and maybe we see something from that effort, and maybe we never do. So we want to look at what's an alternative way that we can go about learning what we need to know in our business so that we get to that point where we feel more confident in serving our clients or even talking to clients in the first place, feeling like, you know what I need to know to be able to serve them. So the first step is to figure out exactly what is it that you need to learn for a very specific purpose. Okay, a very specific purpose. So you gotta know what that purpose is. And then you need to put your blinders on and be able to ignore everything else because the information is gonna come at you from all different directions. And then the second thing we need to do is figure out the exact steps that we need to take in order to get the end result that we want. What are the steps I need to take so that I can build my confidence in this area? What is it that I need to do so that I can demonstrate to myself that I have the skills that I need to be able to serve this particular type of client? And what is it that I can put together to prove to clients what I'm going to be able to do for them? Everything else outside of that is simply going to be a distraction. Now, this starts with figuring out who are you actually trying to target in the first place. A lot of times we don't know who we want to serve, so we just start learning first. But you see, that's why our learning is so widespread, because we don't know what skills we need when we don't even know who we're going to be helping in the first place. So if you're going to be working for a company that is just going to want you to produce code, well, then you need to know code, and that's where you need to spend a bunch of your time. If you're going to be working with business owners that are going to want you to increase their online leads, and the particular type of client that you work with primarily finds leads online through SEO, organic traffic, well, then maybe your time is best spent learning SEO. But maybe you find that the type of clients that you want to work with generate leads primarily through social media. Well, then you want to get good at social media. So this is where we don't want to make any assumptions about every client is going to need SEO, or every client is going to need email marketing, or every client is going to need social media. We need to really understand who it is that we want to serve so we can research them. And that is part of our learning process, is who is my target audience? And let me learn everything about them. And then I can step back and say, okay, now that I know who they are, I know more about them, what do I need to learn to fill in the gaps with my current knowledge to be able to best serve them? That is your plan, and you block out everything else. So now we go back to what I mentioned before, was now what are the exact steps that you need to take to be able to build your confidence so that you feel confident enough in your skills? What is going to demonstrate to you that you have the ability to do this? What projects can you work on? How can you build up that portfolio? And what proof are you creating that you're going to be able to demonstrate to clients the impact that you can make? We've talked about portfolio building, how to go about this when you're at the beginning. I'll link to that below in case that's something you need to get into at this point. But this is where you start. And if you start out learning more about your target audience first, you're really going to fast track your entire learning process and being able to get from feeling unconfident that you can actually do what you need to do for clients to actually being comfortable enough to go to them and say, hey, here's what I can do, and this is why you should be working with me. And being able to have the skills to back all that up. And then you can go out and find the resources, whether it's free courses or paid courses or finding support or mentorship or being able to find someone who has a process just like what you need and getting your hands on that so you can fast track that. You won't be someone like me who lost so much money in the beginning because of the amount of time it took me to take all that information, to piece things together, to test things out, to lose. And to finally, years later, being able to put something real together. That is why I even do these videos in the first place. This is my whole purpose behind Portable Entrepreneur, to shorten all that time for you. Let me know down in the comments below where you are in the learning process. And let me know if you need any help trying to figure out what your next step should be down there. And I'd be happy to help you. Thank you so much for your time. I'll catch you in the next video.